A little bit about us. My name is Allegra, and I am a lifelong planner. Although I think because I have my MBA and I studied a lot of productivity and time management, I took the courses, I read the books, etc. What I found was that I was an inconsistent planner. And what I mean by that is that I was about 7 years ago, I felt like I was having a lot of success in the professional side of my life. I had opened a 1,300 square foot eco-friendly store. I had been chosen to be a designer for Global Green's Oscar party. I was chosen by a top 10 YouTube channel to do 50 videos on green living. And I was really doing well in that part of my life. But I felt like my personal life, my relationships, I felt like I wasn't connecting with people who were important to me. I wasn't making time for date nights or for mommy-daughter days. I actually homeschool my child, so we spent a lot of time together, but it was very structured work time. It wasn't, fun time. And also I felt like my health was lacking. I wasn't really self-care. I didn't really know what self-care was or why I needed it either. And so I took a few days to go to a monastery and really excavate why I was having success in some areas rather than others. And what I discovered was planning. On my professional and my financial side, I was good at coming up with plans and executing on them. And I wasn't doing the same in these other areas. And when I started doing things like setting aside time for just mom-daughter fun days, putting them actually in my calendar and holding to those days, planning date nights, I have a plan where I call a friend who lives out of state. At least once a week, I pick someone and I call them and we have an hour-long conversation so we can really catch up. What I found was when I did those things, I was having success and feeling fulfilled in those areas of my life too.
So my planning journey is a little different than Allegra's. I was really, really good and I'm still good at going ahead and planning self-contained events, right? So for the birthday party for one of my kids or professional summit, if it had a specific date and time, I could rock it. Because you know what you need. You need decorations, you need invitations, you need a piñata, or sometimes two, or whatever. It's very specific. And that kind of thing I could really rock at. And inside of the professional world, same thing, has really closed parameters. The thing that I was starting to notice about, though, I was continuously taking the things that lit me up, these great ideas, either whether it would be like for a passive income stream or some other kind of thing like a trip that I wanted to take or some personal development kind of stuff. That type of thing kept being put on the back burner. I would just keep putting a pin in it and putting a pin in it, especially when it only had to do with me and when it was open-ended, when it's like, oh, I'll get to that. So here I am feeling the weight of that stuff being pushed aside time and time and time again and not prioritizing myself. And I look at Allegra, who at this point had already done her retreat and figured out for herself, like, oh, I'm just not planning well enough in this area. And I looked to her and I'm like, girl, how are you rocking it over here in your professional life? I know you're a homeschooling like monster, maven, like superhero, and, just really rocking it in all these areas. How are you doing it? And so out of those conversations, Allegra really just started coaching me and showing me how she was working her planner, how she was working her plan, and how she was planning in all areas of her life, and how that was creating a lot of fulfillment for her in all these different areas. So out of those conversations, here comes BYWD, Beyond Your Wildest Dreams. And this has really been a game changer.
Yeah, and we like to say that we're a little bit life design, habit formation, values prioritization, but really what makes us different from other, productivity courses is that we look at everything through the lens of being a mom and caregiver, because we understand that when an unexpected event happens in a family, it's the primary caregiver who has to absorb it.
Yep.
And it can be so easy. I mean, when my father died a couple years ago, right, my health just took a turn, but I knew how to get it back because of my plan. But, when you have to absorb something unexpected, it's easy to forget all of your priorities. But what we have found is that when you take care of yourself, when you are working on the goals that light you up, it actually makes you show up better in those other areas of your life where people rely on you, as a daughter or granddaughter or a mom or a spouse. It's better all the way around.
Yeah. So when you do those things that light you up, it also gives those around you permission to do the same, right? So we're taking the shifting away from oh, if I prioritize myself, I'm not taking care of others, into if I prioritize myself, not only taking care of myself, that is a way to take care of others. That is the lens with which we look at all of this stuff. So it's not just like from a productivity business perspective. It's from this more holistic, recognizing that we are fulfilling a lot of different roles. And one of the first roles that we really need to address and take care of is the relationship to self.
Yeah. So this sounds great to you. Join us on this journey. We'd love to have you.